Now, I made a video on my main channel and I talked about dev, but after making the video, I looked on the internet a little bit more and I realized something, which is what I can discuss about it on this channel. This is literally the same, like when a gaming company that has an established audience and has an established fan base, they all of a sudden decide that they want to be inclusive. They all of a sudden decide that they want to appeal to the wider audience, and then they have like these bizarre decisions, like they infest the product with ugly women. You have LGBT flags everywhere. You have some of the most toxic characters imaginable being added in. And people are upset, right? Like people start vocalizing, and immediately you get like the counter backlash saying, "Hey, if you don't like it, don't buy it." Or my favorite take, "Oh, it's got a woman in it, so that makes it woke." And when exploring the comments section, it's literally the same arguments but used by the left, saying that, "Oh, if you don't endorse her, then you're endorsing Donald Trump." It's kind of like the same, you know. Oh, so if it's got a woman in it, that doesn't make it woke. In other words, if you don't endorse it, then it's right wing. But this is actually what's happening. You have a company that is losing credibility. Like a lot of right wingers, they don't even care about the articles anymore. They're not even reading it. And the only people that believe them are boomers. A lot of the leftists that complain about this, they don't read the Washington Post either. So Jeff Bezos, you know, maybe he doesn't want to make money with the Washington Post. Maybe he just wants to promote his influence. Maybe he just wants to shape public opinion. Because at the end of the day, this is why a rich person buys a media outlet. It's not necessarily that he wants to make it profitable, but he wants his voice to be heard. However, even if it's not profitable, he still wants that voice to be heard. He still wants that message to be distributed. And if no one reads it, then there is no point in having the paper. So by doing this, they are trying to at least begin re-establishing some credibility. I don't know if they're going to be successful or not, but at least they want to pretend that they're objective, because you can't be a media outlet where people think that you're trying to examine the truth and you're trying to fact check and you're being objective when you're endorsing a presidential candidate. Like, obviously, this doesn't mean that the journalists themselves do not have, like, public opinions and they do not support one candidate or another. It just means that the official stance of the publication, I know that I need to explain it for, like, a 5-year-old, but we're talking with leftists here. The official stance is that they do not endorse any president, and the left is fuming about it. They would rather have the product end up to the point where no one reads them than have in such cases. Like, I have seen certain publications that had so few viewers that there was no point in keeping them open. And they would rather have that than to have the publication not endorse their candidate. Now this is happening in the entertainment as well, right? This is happening with video games, with TV shows. Except, like, most of the time, it's not that they're going bankrupt. It's not that they're ending up with no customers. It's just that they become greedy. So they're looking at investors, they're looking at various governments and tax breaks and ESG shit, and all of a sudden they become inclusive. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, we're not going to have orcs as evil races anymore. We're not going to have dark elves as evil. We're now going to have Mexican orcs, and we're going to have pronouns, and we're going to have all this other shit. And you have, like, the backlash from the customers, and they don't listen to the customers, right? It's kind of similar to what's happening with the Washington Post, except with the Washington Post, I kind of understand where they're coming from, and it's not even that bad of an inclusivity. Like, it's not like they're starting to write MAGA articles, right, in order to appeal to the wider audience. It's not like they're starting to write articles that are making fun of the woke or that are being disparaging towards the leftists. You don't have journalists that tell leftists if you don't like it, don't read it. You don't have, like, journalists that have, like, block lists with their customers. You don't have journalists giving sass and talking shit to leftists, right? You didn't reach that level of inclusivity. No, like, this is like from a 1 to 10, this is like maybe a 2.5 on the inclusivity scale, and the left are already losing their shit. And the reason this is happening is because this is something they actually care about. They genuinely don't care about the video games we like. They do not care about the TV shows we watch. They do not care about the movies we consume. So because of that, they can afford being cheeky little shits in online discourse. They can be very emotionless and say, oh, why do you care? Why does this matter to you? Why are you upset that every single female character looks like a man with a wig and a strong jawline? Are you a gunner? Are you a bigot? Why do you not like women? You know? And now, I like the fact that I can do it to them. It's like, why don't you like right-wingers? Why are you a bigot? Do you like the bigotrismus? You live in the bigotrismus. And they get even more upset when you do this to them. They absolutely get livid. And the hysteria, it's like, oh, this is fascismus. This is fascismus. Because the owner of the publication doesn't want to endorse a political candidate. This is Benito Mussolini's doing. This is Hitler. Hitler, the ghost of Hitler is in the Washington Post. I find it interesting that they managed to survive COVID, right? Not from the disease, but from what the government was doing. When the government actually came out and they said, yeah, we are working with social media in order to crack down on this Russian collusion information. Yeah, they didn't have a problem with that. You know, when actual doctors were getting banned from social media, when there were certain things that you could talk with your taxi driver, but if you posted them online, you would get banned. They had no problem. That wasn't fascismus. When you had to show papers in order to sit at the McDonald's, when you needed the government permission to open your business, if you rented an apartment, you couldn't kick the people for not paying rent, but the bank could actually foreclose on you for not paying your mortgage. Yeah, they had no problem with that. That wasn't fascismus. No, that was Joe Bidenismus. Joe Bidenismus is beyond fascismus. It's like the way that a country should be ran. Yeah, when you have Kamala Harris talk about how it's not okay for Joe Rogan to speak his mind, like we need regulations, we need stuff like that. That is not a problem, right? Like that is not fascismus. Fascismus is when you are not with the left. That is fascismus. And it's also fascinating how all of a sudden they put a face to the institution. Like before now, when the Washington Compost was just shitting out leftist rags, it was the media, right? But now that they're not endorsing a candidate, is not the media, is Jeff Bezos. Which I agree, it was always Jeff Bezos, believe it or not. I mean, shocker. But the fact that now they put a face on it so they can hate. That's what I find interesting. Same with Twitter, right? Like when it was Jack Dorsey's Twitter, they didn't really care about it. They didn't really complain. But now it's Elon Musk. They put a face on it so they can hate. If you did this to a gaming publication, they would call it harassment. Like if a gaming publication made a decision like that and you would start complaining about their CEO and you would say that the CEO is evil and blah, 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 and it's stifling the creativity of artists and blah, 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 blah. Oh my god, that would be classified as harassment. That would be evil. How can you do something like this? But when they do it, it's okay. Interesting. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.